Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. Get ready for an hour and a half, very intensive workout. I call this chi therapy. Therapy is to overcome a disorder. In this case, this disorder is the loss of harmony between our energy system. And it's not so much the energy within us, it's the energy outside of us that has to pass through a body. I think it's important to remind us that when we say that we are a human being, we are a being first. We are a living being. And in order to be a living being, you have to live within the energy in the universe. Up until now, the planet Earth is the only one that we know of that supports life form. And the reason that it can support life form is because the harmony, in this case, of the energy that are on the planet. And in order for us to be healthy, we need to be in harmony with that energy. That's what it's all about. All right. So let's focus on the let's start with the body. Let's focus on the very bottom of a spine. Let's walk up the spine one joint at a time. As you do that, I want you to stretch your spine. Stretch your spine. Keep moving until you get to the very top. And then I want you to lean back until you're almost about to fall off. And then relax. Then I want you to open the shoulder and then relax. Okay? Now we're going to work on our body starting with the fingers. We're going to work towards the toes. These are extremities. We're going to work on the top of the head. These are extremities. And extremities is actually the return points for the energy. All right? So let's focus on the hands. Let's start with the left hand. We're going to work on the joints. So work on the front part of the joint of the hand. And we're going to take the right thumb and just very gently massage your joints, starting with the front, the left, back to the front, and then to the right. And when you finish one joint, you move on to the next one. You focus on the present. What's past is past, okay? And what hasn't happened it's not happened yet. Just focus on the present. Now, when you finish one finger, you move to the next one. And I want you to focus on the change in the body. Keep feeling your body, see if there's any changes, right? Any heat, sweat, pain, numbness, tightness, any kind of pain. And I want you to understand the difference between pain and suffering. Okay, pain is just the physical pain, the body pain, or even the mental pain. That's still physical. Physical in the sense that it exists when you're alive. It doesn't when you don't. Okay. But there are karma, there are actually residual that follows you. And now we take the left fingers, we work on the right, one joint at a time. Okay. And your true suffering is actually in your karma. It's all the pain that you have accumulated in the past and in my religious belief, even in your past life that comes back. And when they come back, that's suffering. And you need to learn to focus on the present, anchor your mind on your body and your breath to avoid suffering. Okay. All right. So now we're going to work on the back of the hand, one joint at a time. So from the Chinese medicine standpoint, pain means blockage of the qi. Qi is the life energy. There's the energy from the universe that has to pass through your body in order for you to be a healthy living being. And when those channels are blocked, then you have pain. Pain is inflammation. Now use the left fingers, work on the right hand, one joint at a time. And so as we age, we know our fingers start to hurt, our joints start to hurt. We call it arthritis. It's just another name for inflammation, right? All right, so now we're finished with the joints, right? And whenever there's pain on the joints, on the what we call the energy points, that's inflammation. Now, by the way, the word qi currently means air and nutrient. Actually, it means rice. Okay, but in the old days, it means no fire, right? Inflammation is the Latin word that comes from in fire. It's the same, right? All right. So now we're going to work on the fingertips. So we're going to work on the back of the hand first. We use the right hand. and just kind of massage the nail, and then take a look at the nail. And when you go to see a Chinese traditional medicine doctor, they actually look at your nail without telling you, because it's a sign of your blood deficiency. Okay. Now in the Chinese, they don't say cheese, they say 血气. 血 means blood. Okay. All right. So now we're going to squeeze the corners of the nail. Okay. Those are the starting points of the meridians. We will call them meridians, the chi lines, and just kind of squeeze around the nail, squeeze around the nail. Okay, and you'll find that when you work on the hands like this, not only are your fingers getting relief, but actually the entire body getting relief. And now I want you to take the right hand and grab onto the fingers one at a time and just pull on it, one joint at a time. Pull on it. For some of you, this could be very painful, and that's because you have inflammation between the joints, right? And then the other hand, one joint at a time, one finger at a time. Okay, and now we're going to learn to massage in between the knuckles. And the word, in Chinese, they don't say energy points or trigger points or like that. They say cave. The points, cave. The word means cave. Is in between something. Okay. Now this is between the knuckle, right? So now if you follow the fingers, they're still independent until they get to the wrist. So in between the bones, I want you to massage that. Okay. And for some of you, this could be painful. And painful means that the body's crying out for help. Okay. And then in between. And then when the fingers come to the wrist, you use your thumb, you feel that there's like two dimple. Okay. Kind of push down on it. So when you push, we call this acupressure, right? We do everything here except acupuncture. We just don't use needles, right? We can't. All right. So now I want you to massage your thumb. Okay. The thumb is actually the one that does most of the work every day. It's nonstop. And so I want you to massage your thumb, massage, and then kind of follow that bone until you get to the wrist, and you notice that there's like a dimple right here, and just massage that. The thumb, the thumb hurts a lot. My right thumb hurts a lot. I use it a lot. Right? Okay. All right. So now we're going to come back to the right hand. Again, massage in between the knuckle, and then in between the bones, the fingers, the bone of the fingers, in between, and then massage when they do some acupressure, when they joint, and then come back and focus on the thumb again, right? So during human evolution, it's the thumb that started the evolution. Is when our ancestors millions of years ago start to learn how to use the thumb, that they can hold on to a tree's branch as weapons. That's when they climb down the tree. So thumb is a very important part of our evolution. And you will find that even our everyday we use the thumb a lot, right? All right. So now follow the bone until you get to the wrist, and then right here, okay, massage that. All right. All right, so now I want you to put the palms together. Imagine there's a big circle here, and just kind of rub that circle, generate some heat. And then I want you to put that on top of each other, right on top of the left. Squeeze the fingers, massage the palm and the back of the hand, as well as in between the fingers. Now back the other way. So when you get up in the morning, this is one exercise you can rotate. You can't do everything every day, but this is one exercise you can rotate. Turns out that this is a good exercise to do before you go to sleep too, because when you don't get many reasons that you don't get a good night's sleep is because your body aches. All right. Now we're done with the back of the hand. We come back to the center of the hand. Once again, we go to the tip. Work on the tip. Now the tip actually has 10 energy points. All right. So now we're going to do some finger exercise. This is actually a very famous QiGong exercise. And um, there's many aspects to that. Working on the fingers, stretching, and the Chinese believe that each of the finger represents an internal organ: the heart, the splint, the kidney, the liver, the what am I missing? Yeah, and the lung, of course. And it's all there. It's all here. But there's another reason for working on the fingers. It not only good for your internal organs, it's also good for the brain. And so, and we want it as you age, and the reason that my observation is the reason that you would notice that when a person developed dementia, just like my father did, um, there's a very distinct change in the temperament and and a big part of that is that the left brains are not right brains are not working independently anymore, and they actually lose balance, right, very quickly. So when I look back, those are the early signs, and so we want to work on the left brain and the right brain at the same time. All right, so now, so you take your hand, you stretch it as hard as you can, as hard as you can. All right, open that fingers. All right, that energizes your chi. Now you come back, you look at your palm, one hand at a time. You focus on the right hand, which means you're using the left brain. Now you focus on one finger at a time. First the pinky, you bend it, bring it back. Then the ring fingers, then the middle fingers, then the index finger, then the thumb. Now you come to the left hand using your right brain. One finger at a time. Focus your mind on the fingers. And then you squeeze as hard as you can. And then you open them one at a time using your left brain to, and then now the other side. And then you stretch it as hard as you can. Second time, bring it back one finger at a time, and then squeeze as hard as you can. All right. Open it one finger, one hand at a time. You'd be surprised if you actually suffer from dementia, you couldn't do this. All right. All right. Now stretch. And then one last time, one finger at a time, and then squeeze. Okay. Now we're going to continue to do the finger exercise. This is a very famous QiGong exercise. It's invented by a retired professor in Taiwan who actually immediately after retirement, he suffered a stroke. And then he went and he was taught this technique. Very simple technique. You take your fingers, your thumb pressing against the index finger, and you squeeze as hard as you can. That's all. Just squeeze. Now, the middle finger, and you squeeze. Then the index, this is the ring finger, and you squeeze, and then the pinky, and you squeeze. All right. Now you do the same thing, but you put your thumb in the middle of the finger, and you squeeze, and you squeeze, and you squeeze, and you squeeze. Okay. All right. Now we're done. We are now. So we done what? We done massage. We done acupressure. We done the next one we're going to do is called tapping. It's another modality. Okay. All right. Carrie, I understand. Um, Remind me, join the circle. Um, our circle is called Mindfulness Fellowship. Join the circle reminds me, and then I'll try to find some video of the finger exercise. And hopefully I find the one with the retired professor who taught that. Unfortunately, it's taught in Chinese, but at least you can see, okay? Give you some confidence, all right? It helps. It does help. There's been real documented cases in Taiwan. All right, so now we're gonna tap the fingertips, drag the fingertips. Thank you, DM. All right, so, and now I want you to stretch your fingers, and I want you to touch the fingertips like this. Now I want you to count them, okay? I don't normally recommend counting, that's for different reasons. But right now, I want you to focus. All right. So counting helps in terms of staying focused. Get ready. We're gonna do this 30 times. Go. Okay. So one more thing, Carrie. It, don't ever get me wrong. there's no intention of hurting yourself. Okay, I don't want you to do anything that try to force yourself, beating your body into submission. That's not the point here. On the other hand, do the best you can. You don't do it, you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, so do the best you can. That's all I'm asking. All right, so we continue. Now we're going to go to in between the fingers. Okay, there's 8 energy point there. We're going to tap that 30 times. Get ready, go. Okay, all right, so we're going to continue tapping now. First, the inside of the hand. Inside the hand means that it's away from the sun, and that's the word yin. Yin means absence. It actually means shadow, but it means the absence of the sun. And then the front is the yang. That's the sun, right? So that's the sort of the energetic energy and the restorative energy. Think about it. When you plant tomato or whatever vegetable, you want sunshine, right? You need that, right? That's when the plant do is photosynthesis. On the other hand, you can't have sunshine 24 hours and expect the plant to grow properly. You actually need time to for it to restore itself. So you need both the energetic and the restorative, right? So one of the things that we do here, and this is especially true for someone like Carrie, is that we are already in a weak state, and that's not even the case. That's not you don't even have to be sick. You just have to be old, like me. I'm aging, right? Like all of us. And as you age, you start to lose energy, but yet you want to have energy. So, it's like it's like how do you become a millionaire? Well, you start with 1 million. Well, you can't do that. You cannot. We don't have the energy. So in our case, we want that energy by restoring the harmony, by restoring the harmony. Okay. So we're not asking you to run around and sweat and all that, but just do very gentle, low impact exercise to restore the harmony. All right. So first, the yin side. Now the yin has we there's 12 meridians in the body, each one active for 2 hours, but active in the sense that it's like the wave. Okay. So everything moves, it's just that where's the front of the wave, right? So, for example, from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock is when the gallbladder energy line, not the gallbladder necessarily the organ, but the energy line, the energy that is named after the gallbladder is active, and then it's the liver. So it's very important that you go to sleep early enough that you have a total of 4 hours between 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock to essentially get a few blood um, uh, cleansing, right? Okay. Anyway, so let's work on these two energy point. There, one is an important part of the heart. Now, in this case, heart is actually more mental side. So in Chinese, they don't actually separate the heart from the mind. Okay. So this is really more like the mind, and this is more like the lung, right? In this case, the lung is actually the mineral. It's really what's, like again, like you plant, you want to have fertilizers, you want to have nutrients in the body. So this is the lung energy line. All right, so there's two energy points. This one is very obvious. Is you think about this thumb here like the drumstick, and it's just right in the middle of the drumstick. And then if you look hard enough, you see another one over here, and it's right here. So what we want to do is we want to put the hands together, forming a V, and it's not the bone against bone. It's basically the muscle, the meat against the meat. Okay, now get ready. We're gonna tap that 30 times. Okay, now we're gonna turn it around, form a V again, and we're gonna tap that 30 times. That's the heart or mind, and that's the lung. Okay, get ready, go. Okay, so now this is the yin side, the absence of the sun. And then now we're going to work on the yang side. And the yang side of the mind or the heart is the small intestine. And so this energy point is right here. So if you fold your hand like this, you get a line going across. It's right here. So you put that together, and now you have the palm has to be flat, okay? And you roll up the fingers gently, and we're going to tap that 30 times. Okay, and now we're going to move to the yang side of the lung, which happens to be the large intestine. So if you hold up your hand like this, you see the little bump here. You open, you see a valley. You take your right hand, you put that on the valley, and this energy point is now on top of this valley, and we're going to tap that 30 times. Okay, now the other side. Okay, all right. So once again, I talk about the yin and the yang. In a way, the yin and the yang is essentially the two autonomous system. The yin in this case is the restorative, is the rest and digest, and the yang in this case is the fight or flight. So you know what happens when you're in fight or flight? You put out a lot of stress hormone, and many of them, right? And one of the one that you put out is called cortisol. That's a steroid. The purpose of the cortisol is to reduce inflammation. Okay, but the problem is that if you have too much, you develop cortisol resistance. You're no longer sensitive to your own self healing agent, and so you need to go. You need to give it enough time to restore. So the rest and digest is not just to rest and digest; it's actually to restore the sensitivity to the steroid. Okay, so when we talk about the yin and the yang, one is the yin is the restorative, okay, and the yang is the one that is energized. And so the yang side, you will find that has a lot to do with pain. And so if you work on the yang side, it actually removes a lot of pain because it puts out the steroid. And it turns out that this energy lines right here, called the one that we name after the large intestines, has a lot of good energy points to reduce pain, both pain and high blood pressure, it turns out. Now, we're going to come back to this one. This one is called the merging valley, and we're going to learn to do some acupressure. And so you open your fingers again. This is the valley that we're talking about. You see this little ridge in here? Okay. Now you take the right thumb. You see this line here? You put the line, and then you come down into the valley. You push down and you lean against the index finger. You will find a point that is really sore. And you just hold the pressure, hold it, right? Now we can't hold it that long here. We don't have that much time, but when you do it on your own, you can hold it for a few minutes and you will find that eventually the pain will go away. Not only the pain go away, you feel a lot better in the rest of the body. So this is a very good one. Okay, learn to use that. And then now as you move on the along the outside of the arm, now you feel the bone is on the outside. You come up to this bend, and so you press on that. This is a very good one. Okay. And then you measure four fingers on magic measuring tools, very personalized, and four fingers. And then again, you locate the bone and you press on the outside. This one is very good if you have pain on the shoulder, like a frozen shoulder. This is I use this all the time when I have pain here. Okay. Now you come back and you move along here under the shoulder. You come back four fingers and you have a cavity here. You can press that using all four fingers, and you will find that it's painful, not painful that you cannot bear. It's actually a good kind of pain, and you find that the rest of the body is also feel better. Okay, now we do the right hand again. Find that line, put that on top of this this right here. Press down onto the valley, and then lean towards the index finger. Okay. Okay. Now come up to the bend. Go back four fingers. outside the bone, right? There's a cavity here. It's really sore. And then come back to the shoulder, 4 fingers down, and then just press inside. Okay. All right. So now we're going to learn to do something else called scraping, right? There's a Chinese word for that. Some of you know it, right? Guasa. All right. So this is very good when you have carpal tunnel, or you're not. It's not to the extent of carpal tunnel where you have to see a doctor and they put steroid in it, but at least it's painful, right? Especially when you get up. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you don't know why. And next time when you do that, see if the hands are warm, right? If the hand is warm when you wake up in the middle of the night, that means your body is inflaming. And so this next technique really good is really good for that. Now you could have carpal tunnel for all kinds of reasons. You could have it because you use computer a lot. You could have it when you work in the kitchen a lot. It's just any kind of repetitive function causes blockage of the chi. That's why it inflames, right? Okay, so now we're going to use our magic tool, the knuckle. We're going to stretch our arm, lock the elbow. And so we're going to work on the center line first. This is called this meridian is named after, it's called the um, pericardium. It's actually the heart now. Pericardium is the muscle around the heart. So that is the heart. Inside is empty. Now we're going to use the knuckle and we're going to scrape, okay, in the elbow. We're going to move further down along the line. And where the watch is, that's a very good energy point. And a lot of you have like heart murmur, like sometimes or maybe even like irregular heartbeat. And according to the Chinese doctor, this energy point will help. Okay. Now you go to the wrist. There's actually a bunch of energy points in the wrist, so you make sure you cover the wrist. Then you come back very gently. Use your knuckle now, right? Is it here? All right, so now this is the center line. Remember, we have 3 energy lines here and 3 over on the other side. So you move up, you see the bone, it's on this side of the bone, and this is the lung. Once again, you start at the elbow and move down to the wrist, come back to the elbow, and then you scrape the bones, right? The bone is important because the reason why we call them meridian is that just the line that goes like this, but there are lines that goes like this. So there's actually lines that go across. And when you scrape the bone, sometimes you feel like kings, and that's because of blockage. Okay. So you want to make sure that you do plenty of that. Okay, now we're going to move a little further up on the other side of the bone. We call that the large intestine line. All right. Come back. And then now the center line is the triple warmer to the wrist. And then now we're going to do the back of the hand, the thumb, back of the hand, and the fingers. And straighten up and then scrape the middle, rotate your hands, scrape the bone, rotate your hands until you get to the inside, the middle part. And then one more, which is on the here. This is the mental side, right? So we're going to start at the wrist and about 4 inches, scrape here. This is a very famous energy points that help you sleep, okay? And then now scrape until you get to the elbow, okay? Learn to do this, all right? And I do this at least once a day besides the class, okay? It's an important part of how I relieve pain in my body. I do get pain. One of you were surprised that I do get pain. I get all kinds of things. I accept it. Okay, now move up, just right below the bone, okay? All right, on top of the bone, and the other side. And then now in the middle. And then the back of the hand, the fingers, the thumb, and then scrape. And then, okay, all right. Okay, this is very helpful, right? At least for me. All right. I talked about how my son lost his dog last week, Buddy, and so if someone remind me on the minus fellowship circle, I would post the short article that my daughter wrote in memory of Buddy. It was really touching, and because it just reminds me when I said that there are things that help me. Um, I was surprised how much Buddy helps our family, brought everyone so together, and um, I never understood how generous these small animals are. I was very impressed by that, humbled by it. Okay, all right. So let's continue. Our body is very precious, huh? Very precious. We live to help others. All right. Stretch, open, lean back, relax. We're gonna do some other exercise. This one we're gonna use a little bit more energy. And so we're gonna point all four fingers in front, all five fingers, all 10 fingers. And we're gonna roll up the four fingers. They're like the springs. We're gonna hold down the springs with the thumb. We're gonna wind up those four fingers, but we're gonna hold it down first. Get ready? One, two, as hard as you can. Three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now this is really obviously very very good if you have carpal tunnel, huh? Because it's well, I used to teach mechanical engineering, so I would say this is the Newton's second law: action equal to reaction, huh? All right. So when you do that, the yang energy is the one that travels outside the body, and the yin energy is the restorative that comes right back. Now, I'm going to do some more of that. And this time we're going to use what's called a lotus hand. And so we're going to stretch, open, lean back, relax. This two energy point is a very important energy point for the lung meridian. It actually is the last one before it enters into the body. And so we're going to open that first, relax. Then we're going to form what's called a lotus hand. We're going to use the thumb and the middle finger, squeeze. Then the other three are going to stretch. Then we're going to put that on the gate to the cloud. Open that again. Back of the hand facing the camera. Get ready. Go. One. Okay. All right. Back of the hand facing the camera. All fingers stretch out. Come back to the lotus hand. Middle finger and the thumb. The other three stretch. Put that over here. Open the shoulder again. Get ready. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Now this one is obviously very good for frozen shoulder. Frozen shoulder is inflammation. Frozen shoulder is inflammation. So I don't feel sorry or sad about Buddy as much as I feel gratitude and appreciation. It's the same way I feel about my dad who passed away 2 years ago. I actually uh, haven't had the reason to even shed a tear after he passed, um, because I felt that I'd done everything I could while he was alive. So just remember this: if you value someone while they're alive, there's no reason to feel sad after their passing. We all pass. You should know that the day that you were born. This is how it works. Okay? Just value it while you are alive. Every day, every minute, every second. Okay? All right. So now we're going to value our body by giving it a good massage, especially the neck, where there's a lot of stress accumulated here. All right. So we're going to take our hands, put that in the back of the hand, sit up straight, lean back the forehead. And then we're going to use the thumb and then we're going to glide down until you find these two cavities. Very easy to find. This one is called the Pond of Wind. And first, we're going to do some acupressure. Push down with your thumb as hard as you can. Lean back your neck and hold it as if you're squeezing the rubber hose. And then release. Okay? Now we're going to take the right hand, four fingers, put down on the left, press down with the four fingers, lean back, and then grab the left side of the neck and pull it onto the right. As if you're opening the channel. Same thing on the other side. Sit up straight, push down with the four fingers, and then pull the right side of the neck towards the left as if you open the channel. Now you take the right hand, you put that under the ear, you massage this first, and then you massage as if you all the way to the right. And then you need to tell yourself to relax. And then relax. There's a lot of stress here. And then same thing on this side. First massage, and then relax, relax, relax. Okay. Now use your right hand. Put that on top of the ear. Do the same thing. Down. Relax, relax, relax. Okay. Relax, relax, relax. Now you come back, use two thumbs back to the pond of wind, and now you're going to do some massage. And then you move towards the ear until you get on top of the bone, and you do some massage. Now you use one hand, you squeeze, and then you squeeze the neck until you get to be about middle, and you squeeze some more. Okay. And then just squeeze like this. And then you take your hand, you reach down, right? So you put it inside and you just kind of grab it like this, okay? And you do it inside, okay? And then just kind of move until you get to the neck, all right? Okay, so now we're going to work on the neck, but this time we continue to work on it. So we're going to take the right hand and use the index finger like the blade, and then you're going to massage this like this. There's some part of your lymphatic system. You start it here, okay? Just kind of scrape that, and then you get to the top of the shoulder, and you use your finger, and you massage the top of the shoulder. There's a cavity here. It's called the well of the shoulder, like this. Okay, now you reach over, you feel the bone across, and you go down, and then all of a sudden there's a cavity here. That's called the door of wind, and you can massage. Now you move over here, there's another cavity here, and you massage, and then you just kind of massage the shoulder like this. Okay, and then the other side, and then over here, you use the blade, scrape. Okay, and then massage the top, reach back, and then reach over. And then massage. So, thank you, Allison. Allison said, well said. You know, my hero, one of my heroes, I have many. One of my heroes is Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter lives a good life. He lives a very, very full life. He lives his whole life to live others. I love this cartoon I saw the other day. Now, this is, Jimmy Carter is still alive, but someday he won't. And so he talks about how he's, approaching the Peter's Gate, and the angel is standing behind the podium, and Jimmy, his big teeth is saying hi, and the angel hands over the hammer and says, he says, Jimmy, we got a homeless problem here too. Go to work. Jimmy Carter and his wife spent his whole life building houses for the homeless and the underprivileged. Okay, all right. That's a life. That's a life. Dedicate your entire life in service of others. He's my hero. All right. Okay, so now we're ready to massage the face. Right? Remember I talked about extremities, right? So we're not done with extremities yet. There's ears and the face. Now, it turns out that there's a lot of energy points around the eye. As we age, we have a lot of problems with the eyes. If you don't believe me, go to see the eye doctor. Eye doctor has the most people waiting in the lobby. Okay, all kinds of problems. So there's three energy points on top, three energy points on the bottom, plus another one in the middle. All right. So first, we're going to use the index finger, starting at the beginning of the eyebrow, and you can feel a cavity there. So press in, use your neck, and then now we're going to scrape the energy points on the eyebrow and slightly above the eyebrow as if you're squeezing the toothpaste. Now, then we're going to use the thumb below the eyebrow and just kind of give it a massage. Now, this mainly is to open up the oil tube in your eye. As we age, our eye gets really dry, and it's dry because not because you don't have enough tears. We keep putting tears in the eye, artificial tear. It's mainly because you don't have enough oil. Okay, the oil is what's protecting the eye the from evaporating. Okay, all right. So now we're going to massage the bottom at the corner to the tail, right below the eye back, very gently, very gently. Now we're going to use the thumb, start at the corner of the eye, move up a little bit, and when you get to the skull, right? Like and then just press down, press in. Okay. Now sit up straight. We're going to do some eye yoga. Okay. Now there's something called lazy eye as we get old. All right. So now we're going to do some eye yoga. Going to close your eye, and then we're going to turn the eyeball up, right, down, left, right, up, right, down, left, up, right, down, left, back to up. We're going to go counterclockwise, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. Open the eyes. This is called the bright eye. Okay. All right. So now we're going to take two fingers. We're going to massage the energy points here. Massage the energy points here. Okay, now going back to using the thumb and then start at the bottom of the eye, goes down until you find the cheek. You're going to press in and lift up, right? Press up like this, okay? And then we're going to use index finger, put that outside. This is called the welcome fragrance. This is good for uh, your, your, uh, your what do you call that? For the nose, huh? Okay. Now we're going to massage here. This is important part. There's energy point here, but it actually has a Western sinus. Thank you, Martha. And all right. Okay. So now we're going to learn to massage the ears. Divide it into three parts. First, the upper part, put the thumb inside and squeeze. Now, the ears is the reverse of the body. So this is actually more like the kidney energy line. So this energy point is will help you sleep, reduce your anxiety. And then the middle, okay, thumb on the back, and then the index finger on the bottom, thumb in the back. Now I'm going to massage outside the ear, starting with the tip, yank a little bit, and then on the edge, very, very thoroughly on the edge, and then down to the ear loop, yank a little bit, okay? All right. So now we're going to leave the thumb behind the ear loop. We're going to use the index finger, put it outside and massage, and then up and down. And then we're going to squeeze. Then we're going to put two in fingers in the behind, one on top. I mean, one on the ear, one on the skull. And we're going to massage from the top to the bottom. And then the other side. And then now we're going to learn to pop an ear by putting the palm behind. Stretch. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So now we're ready to tap from the top of the head to the very bottom of the feet. Okay, so now what's important is to sit properly, stretch as hard as you can, lean back, relax, open the shoulder, relax, lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin. The reason we do all that is to align the top of the head, this energy point for the 100 meat, to the central nerve system. Then we take 10 fingers, we put that on top of you, vertical. All right. So this energy point is actually right in the center, but there's 4 energy points on 4 directions. So it's not just that, but it's all 4. All right. So now focus. We're going to tap it 30 times. Get ready? Go. Okay, now we're going to learn to comb my hair, huh? Comb my hair with a finger. So use the meat part of the finger, 4 fingers on the forehead, the thumbs on the side, and then just going to massage your skull all the way down. Second time, and then third time. And now we're going to massage the side. So put the fingers on top of the ear. 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, now we're going to continue. We start here. Now we're going to get to the shoulder, right? So shoulder has an energy point. In front has another one. Going to use the right hand, empty hand, as I said, like you're drinking water. Put the fingers on top and the center, the palm in here. Turn your head to the right. Sit up straight. Listen with your left ear. Wake up. Continue. And do the same thing on the other side. Open your shoulder, relax your shoulder. Left hand, empty hand, fingers on top, palm in front. Turn your head to the left. Listen with the right ear. Wake up. Continue. Okay, so this is the meridian named after the gallbladder. This is the one named after the lung. Now we're going to work on the one named after the heart or the mind. Okay, so we take your left shoulder, elbow, put that on top, sit up straight, don't, right? And then slightly squeeze the upper part of your right ear. First, we're going to massage the armpit. That's the lymph nodes, right? Okay, and then we're going to turn the head to the right. Listen with the left ear using the empty hand. Put that on the armpit. Get ready. Wake up. Continue. And now we're going to go to the right. Take the right elbow, put that on top of this, sit up straight, pinch the left ear, massage, and then empty hand, right ear, wake up, continue. Now we're going to continue to the elbow. Remember, we talked about the 3 energy lines here, energy points at the wrist, and more importantly, the energy lines on the elbow. So we're going to lock the elbow. We're going to use the empty hand on the right hand side, fingers on top, palm of the hand on the side, covering all 3. Lift up your hand so that the palm is eye level. Turn your head to the right. Listen to the left ear. Empty hand. Remember now, huh? Okay. Get ready. Go. Continue. Okay. It's very important that you listen to the ear. You don't play the instrument, you play the music. Okay. All right. First on the other side. Get ready. Go. Continue. Okay, so Carrie again says that she can't do it with the right hand. So whenever you get to a point where your body cannot do what you think it's supposed to do, start with gratitude. Be very grateful for this body. It's been your traveling companion for all these years. Be grateful, be loving kindness. Okay, and then just work with it. All right, work with it. All right. Okay. Accept it. All right. Accept it. One last thing on the upper torso before we move to the lower part of the body, and this is in the back. In the back is an energy line that we name after the bladder. It is actually very complicated. It actually has four energy lines that come up, and it's a very important part to in terms of healing. That's why, like the athletes now, you see them with the marks in the back. They do this suction cup thing, and that's for the same reason. So we don't do the suction cup. We just do the same thing with the tapping. All right. So you can do this sitting or standing. It's up to you. All right. But first, we're going to stretch, lean back, open, relax. Huh? Going to take the right hand, empty hand, reach as far back as you can. This energy point is fire. Then we're going to take the left hand, use the back of the hand, wrap it around on the right side as if you're putting on top the kidney. That's water. So we're going to mix the water and fire. Now turn your body. Very important. Get ready, go. Okay. All right. So we're now going to work the lower part. Now, Martha says something very profound, and I'm going to read it for those of you who are outside. She said, Carrie, it might help to visualize that you are doing it. It helps when you set the intention. This is very profound. And the reason it's profound is that I talk a great deal about how we don't call what we do here QiGong, because it's what we do here is beyond the Qi. Once upon a time, I said I practice Qi as a journey, not as a destination, because there's something beyond the Qi. There's the body, like the material body, including your brain, and then there's the Qi, which is the life energy. But there's something going beyond, which is the mind. The mind, in this case, is much more profound than anything that is physical. So we don't call it qigong because that's a very modern term. Actually, started in 1962 when I was about 8 years old, and right after the Great Famine, they have to reintroduce this ancient technique after they already. When I say they, I mean the communists already kill off all the monks and the Taoists. So they invented this whole thing called the qigong. But the original term that the Chinese have used for thousands of years is called Tao Yin. Now, in this case, the Tao is not the same as the word Tao in Taoist. The word in Taoist means the word is written as the head on top of a boat. It's really practicing of your mind. But in this case, Taoyin is the same word with another characters on the bottom that means inch. It's to guide, okay? It's to guide someone on the path. Now, in this case, the yin, Dao yin, yin means to entice. So it's all about the mind. It's really how you practice with your mind. And so what I'm just saying, what I said is that what Martha said is very profound because we tend to focus on the body and we think of this just a set of physical exercise, where in fact we're using the body. It's the only tool that we have. It turned out it's also our greatest uh, um, um, barrier to enlightenment. But it's the only tool we have. We're using the tool to guide and to entice our mind. Okay, so what she said, okay, if you can't do it, accept it, but at least visualize it. It's the intention that matters. All right, thank you, Mother. Okay, so now we're going to do the very bottom. I mean, not the very bottom. We're going to move to the bottom part of our body. Okay, and we're going to work on another six energy points, another six energy lines, and the meridians. Okay, again, they're separate into yin and yang. The shadow, the absence of the sun, is inside. The yang facing the sun is both the front, the side, and the back. Okay, so what's inside is the liver meridian, and so we're going to work on the here. And it turns out that we're going to work on it again when we get to the toe. Okay, but this is the part that is exposed to the outside, and so we're going to divide both the knee into three parts. And first one, now with this time, I'm going to use the empty fist, meaning that we're not trying to beat the body into submission. We just kind of entice and guide by using a very soft fist. Get ready, sit up straight, go. Second one. And then now we're going to close the knee. The outside is the yang, and this is the inside is the liver, the outside is the name, one we name after the gallbladder. Now, it turns out that, at least according to the Chinese medicine doctor, these two energy points would help reduce the chance of having a stroke. Um, so this one here is right here. Okay, get ready, go. Second one. Okay, now we're going to work on below the knee, above the knee, two, below the knee, three. This first energy point, remember I talked about in Chinese word, the word energy point means the cave, it means indentation. So to find this, you use a finger, you glide up, and you can feel it in between the bone until you can't get any more, go anymore. And that's right here. Okay, get ready. This one is good for your immune system. Go. In the middle. Further down. Okay, now those of you who follow the Apple products know that either a week or 2 weeks ago, Apple had a big product announcement about AI, artificial intelligence, and the stock market has gone crazy because of that. And so, when you live in big city like San Francisco, you see all autonomous vehicle now driving. You see a car coming in front of you, have no driver. You can't even yell at anybody anymore. But in any case, AI is a big thing. So I encourage you to, if you use iPhone, Android, doesn't matter. You look for an app called ChatGPT. I did that, and I asked some simple question. Okay, simple questions like, what energy point should I use to reduce high blood pressure? And it gave a pretty good answer. Give a pretty good answer. You should do that, just kind of for your own entertainment. Okay. All right. So next time, ask, what energy point should I use for indigestion? What turns out to be here. All right. So now you come back to this is the energy line that we name after the stomach. All right. So you come back to here, and then here, right here on the outside. Okay. And Get ready, go. And then 4 fingers down, in front, on the side. Get ready, go. Okay, so there's another energy point here that we name after the splint. We're going to work on that separately, but now we're going to work on the back, the calf, which is part of the bladder meridian. Okay, but first we're going to massage the calf. Now the calf is actually a very, very important, really, really important. So in the Western medicine, they actually start to call this the second heart. And heart has to do with a lot of circulation. Dementia is actually inflammation and also lack of circulations to your brain. So when your calf decays, it's the beginning of dementia. All right, now there's an energy point right at the bottom, at the end of the calf and sort of in the middle. Now you put that on your right knee and kind of massage that. Okay, so I talk about the study that they have done, and it turns out that there's a strong correlation between this part of the body and dementia. Okay, and I'm going to tap this 30 times. Get ready, go. Okay, all right, now we're going to go to the right side. Again, massage the calf and check to see if it's nice and elastic like this. Okay, and then put those energy points on top of the left knee. Do this. It hurts, right? Yeah. And then 30 times. Okay, so we're not done yet. Okay, we're not done yet. So now we're gonna work on the toes. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, so I remember we talked about the liver right here, right? Now, the liver energy line is the vegetation energy line or the wood. So when you have a lot of emotions that would be considered hot or fire, then it affects the liver. And so if you wake up in the middle of the night from around 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, that's the liver fire. Okay. And so this is the good part that you want to massage. Now, when you open up your toes, you go in and you feel the bones are merging together right before you push down. And this would be very good for reducing high blood pressure. Now, there's a symmetry between this one and this one, huh? And so it turns out that all four are good for high blood pressure. Now, there's another part, it's the opposite. So you kind of remember this point, you flip your hand, you're up, and you see this ball area. But in between the toes, there's still like a line. So now you use your thumb, you use the edge of your thumb as the blade, and you massage that. So both this part and this part are good for reducing your high blood pressure. High blood pressure has a lot to do with your anxiety. It has to do with a lot to do with your adrenal gland. Okay, that's part of your. All right. So now we're gonna massage the toes. Okay, massage the toes. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna massage the ball area, and we're gonna take the toes and bend it back. And you see this tendon here, right? This is called the longevity tendon. It's behind that is the liver energy line. So kind of scrape that. And then scrape the bottom of your feet in general. and then scrape the heel. Okay, so now we're going to work on this energy line called the splint. The splint is part of the earth element. So this is the cradle of life. Whereas the kidney that we're going to work on later is the prerequisites of life. So it actually starts at the toe all the way like this. So the most important part is actually the arch, especially right around here, about 2 inches, right below that bone area. So learn to scrape that. And then locate the angle, measure 4 fingers, locate the bone right below the bone, press on that. This is called the 3 yin meat. It's very important energy point. And then we scrape right below the bone. So again, when you think about planting or planting vegetable or farming, you know how important is the soil, right? So places like Hawaii, the soil is very good because it's all volcanic soil. So you know how important soil is. So what's the purpose of soil? The purpose of soil is to transform and to transport, right? Transform the mineral, the nutrients, and then transport the water. Same is with the splint energy line. If you have a splint deficiency, it's really bad for your health. So how do you know? When you have swelling, okay, when you have swelling, you can't even see an angle anymore. That means that you're not able to channel the water back into your heart. When the blood flows into the extremity, it can't come back. It comes back through the lymphatic system, which means that your lymphatic system is not working right, which means that your immune system is shot to hell. Okay, so if you have swelling, don't just take medicine to reduce the swelling, but think about other ways. So scraping here and scraping here, these are important. All right. Now, one last energy point, the most important one, is called the gushing spring. That's the kidney. It's right below here. So press in here, press in here, press in here, and then we're going to tap. This is water. This is fire. Okay. Now, this is a technique invented by a doctor, medicine doctor back in the Tang Dynasty. A very good technique for longevity. Get ready? Go. Continue. Okay, and then very quickly, we're going to work on the right side. We still have a lot of work to do. Okay, scrape, and then press, scrape some more, turn it back, and then use the edge of your thumb right here, and then scrape this tendon, this longevity tendon, back to the toes, massage the ball area, massage the heel, scrape the bottom of the feet, and then work on this splint energy line, starting with the bone. Scrape here about 2 inches, scrape the entirety of the arch, and then come back to the angle, measure 4 fingers, do some acupressure on the 3 yin meat, and then scrape the inside all the way up to the knee. And then come back, do some acupressure here, and then tapping the bottom of your feet with your palm. Empty hand. Get ready? 30 times. Continue. Okay, massage. All right, so we got a little bit more work to do. We have to do this standing up, and then we're ready for the exercise of the day, which is Jing, right? Jing is a very good longevity exercise. But let's do something else first. Okay, let's loosen up our knee a little bit. We've been sitting for so long. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to loosen up the heel. Right heel first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now we're going to have two more energy points that we need to tap. One is behind the knee. We're going to bend the knee. 4 fingers in the back, thumb on the side. Stretch our spine so we're not punching. Okay. And ready? 30 times. Continue. Okay, one last one is right here. Okay, now this happens to be in the lymphatic system as well. Okay, so it's actually very important. So I'm gonna just like a fist, put it here 30 times. Okay, so we're ready for this exercise called Jing, YJJ. It's has come in different form of the same name. Different people practice it differently. And if you're interested in the history of this particular technique, I've written an article many years ago. I can give you the link if you remind me on the circle. And this one was passed down by Bodhidharma, a North Indian yogi visiting China in the 4th century. Okay, it's actually the what's known as the first patriarch of the Zen meditation, as well as the um, protector of the Shaolin Temple, right? And but for us mortals, it combines the 3 elements that's important for longevity. It has stretching, which is very important. It has cardio, which is very important. And then finally, it has muscle building, right? So it's very important. Okay, so now, and actually, if you just want to do this part, I have a separate video that I edit just for this, okay? And so first, you're going to plant your feet onto the ground, okay, firmly, and about the width of your shoulder. Then you're going to stretch your spine so you can stand up properly, open your shoulder, relax, lean back the forehead, tuck in your chin so you're forming a straight line. The first one is called Spirit Boosting Palm. So the focus is on the palm. You put the palm so that the center of the palm is facing the earth, and you put that far enough back so that you're forming a plane. That way, action you could have reaction when you send the shock wave down, it actually goes up your spine. Okay, so very important. Get ready now. It's very important that you, when I say go, you ignore me, but instead you focus your mind onto the center of your palm, body, mind together. Okay, get ready. Go. And then now it's very important that you give yourself enough time to restore your balance, your harmony by focusing on your breath. And first, you completely relax yourself. Then you focus on your breath. You do this one breath at a time. You know that you're breathing in. You know that you're breathing out. Now do it for a second time. You know that you're breathing in. You know that you're breathing out, right? Very important to restore the sensitivity to your internal system. Second time, oh, turn your toes inward, bend your knee. Activate this energy point. Sorry. You ready? Go. And then focus on your breathing, one breath at a time. Now, it's very important for you to think that this is all about the energetic, not so, okay? The restorative is just as important, if not more important, because we're living in the modern age. We have enough excitation. We actually need more restoration. One last time, get ready, go. And then relax, one breath at a time. Now, the second one is called pointing the one tail. This is the name of the energy point here. So you take your thumb, you point it here, you don't have to touch. You just have to form this energy loop. Then you roll up your four fingers and you imagine you have a bucket of water hanging on your thumb and you lift up your bucket of water by bending the thumb upward. You're energizing the large intestine meridian. So modern terminology is called detox. Then you relax your finger, but without lowering down your hand. And then you focus on your breath, one breath at a time. Second time, relax your finger, focusing on your breathing. One last time. And then allow lower your hand, completely relax. The next one is called beginner's mind. This is what the baby does inside the mother's womb. You put your thumb across, then you roll your four fingers, and you squeeze your fist, energizing your heart meridian. And then you relax without lowering your hand. You focus on your breathing. Remember now, very important to spend equal time on the restoration. Second time, squeeze, relax. One last time, squeeze, and then lower your hand, relax. Now, next time when you see a baby, they don't know how to do anything else, but if you put a finger in between their fists, they would know how to squeeze. That's innate to our existence, okay? Now, I'm going to focus on the breathing, one breath at a time. And then we're going to put the hands together, put that right below the belly button. We're going to take a deep breath from here. This is called the sea of chi, all the way to here. This is called the middle of being. As you do that, you lift up your upper torso. You ready? Breathe in. And relax. Now you close your elbow. Remember the energy point in the back that we had to tap? That energy point has a very important name. It says that essentially what it says is that if the virus get there, you will die for sure. And the only way you can get to it is by stretching your back. You can't get to it with the needle. It's behind the bone. So what you do is you put your elbow together, you put your fist together, and you stretch your back, and then you relax. Second time, stretch your back, and then you relax. One last time, you stretch your back, and then you relax. Actually, they don't say virus. I said that. They actually just said evil chi. That's the old word for virus. Okay, so the next one is called fist on top of the head. So you focus on the fist, you open your shoulder, you bring your fist on top of the head, and then you open the fingers. You feel the blood flowing into your fingers. Now you roll your fist one joint at a time. One, two, lock it with your thumb, and you squeeze as hard as you can. This is very superficial cardio. You squeeze as hard as you can, and then you open your fingers and you relax and you focus on your breathing. Second time, you squeeze as hard as you can, and then you open your fingers. Let the blood come back to the fingers. And then one last time, you squeeze as hard as you can, and then you open your fingers. The next one is called stabbing the shoulders. The shoulder is part of the gallbladder energy line, remember? So you open your shoulder, you grab the dagger, you point the dagger onto your shoulder. Now you feel the tightness on your neck. Remember those two energy points when you stab, okay? Get ready? Stab. Okay, as someone is like really tight in the back of the neck, and then you relax. Let the chi flow through those two energy lines back to the top of your head. Second time. Stab. Relax. One last time. Open your shoulder. Stab. Relax. The next one is called the cross. Now it's very easy to mistake that as punching. You not punch, you push. Okay. So you make the cross. You open your hand. You turn your wrist like this. You form your fist. Take a deep breath as if you have two trees on the side, and you just push. So as hard as you can, stretching the upper part of your arm, and then relax. The upper part of your arm is called a triple warmer. Second time. Wrist, fist, push, and then relax. So one last time. Push, and then relax. Front hanging, lock your elbow. Same thing. Wrist, fist, take a deep breath and push, and then relax. Second time. Push, and then relax. One last time. Push, and then relax. Next one, it is like the chin up. So this is when we exercise the muscle, okay? So the loss of your muscle is this first sign of aging. You grab the horizontal bar, you look up, and you pull yourself up as hard as you can. You don't use it, you lose it, okay? Now relax. Focus on the breathing. Second time. And then relax. Third time. And then relax. We continue with the muscle exercise. I call this ripping the yellow page. Grab the yellow page and then rip it. And then relax. Second time. Rip and then relax. Third time. Rip and then relax. Okay. And then this one called swallowing the dawn. Okay. So you take your saliva, you collect all your saliva, and you swallow all the way to the lower part of your stomach. You make sure that you're standing with your goat stand, loosening up your knee like this. And by the way, from here until the end, you don't straighten up your knee, okay? Then the back of the hand touching. Make sure your back is straight. You bend down without straightening up your knee. Back of the hand is touching. You're looking straight at the foot. You squeeze. Back of the hand touching. Focusing on your breathing. Squeeze. Back of the hand touching. Focusing on your breathing. One last time. And flip. Focusing on the center of your palm. Make sure you lower your knee. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Push. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pretty relaxed. Okay. So the clock says we have 5 minutes left. So we're going to go over time a bit. We're going to practice this You can call it qigong exercise if you like. It's a well-known exercise called the microcosmic orbit. We call it the wandering dragon chasing the pearl, and it comes in three parts. The predecessor, the precursor to the three part is the sitting posture. You have to sit not for the body, but for the being. You have to imagine, as Martha says, your intention is to be the center of the universe, which is not hard because the universe is unbound. You are the center. And you do that by stretching your spine, starting at the lower part of your spine. You walk up the spine as if a dragon is walking on your spine, one joint at a time. As you do that, you stretch your spine as hard as you can, and then you lean back and then relax. Now, what you did is put all your weight on your spine and not on your muscle. Then you open the shoulder and you relax the shoulder. Then you lean back the forehead so that the weight of your head is on top of your spine. Then you tuck in your chin so the top of the head is on top of the spine. You're balancing your bowling ball on the bamboo stick, right? We call this one pillar supporting the sky. You are now the center of the universe. The energy of the universe, the chi, will pass through your spine if you create a resonance. And so, how do we do that? First step is called mindful of your body to cultivate your chi. Mindful of your body means that you're mindful of your breath. You know that you're breathing in, you know that you're breathing out. Now, I want you to focus on your belly button. When you know that you're breathing in, use your mind, your intention. Move that belly button forward as if you're taking the belly button and take it all the way across the room. Your intention. And when you know that you're breathing out, you take that belly button and you take it all the way back as if you're bringing the belly button to your spine, collapsing your stomach as a result. Collapsing your stomach means that you're lifting up your diaphragm, you're pushing out all your stale air from the lower part of your lung, completely emptying your lung. And then when you breathe in, you move forward, you open your stomach, you lower your diaphragm. You're increasing your lung capacity, you're bringing in as much fresh oxygen as possible. Breathe in, move the belly button back. Breathe out, move the belly button forward. You're going to sit for 3 minutes. This is called practice mindful of your body to cultivate the chi. The chi, in this case, is the electricity that you generate by massaging your small intestine. So now we're ready for the second part. So remember now, the first part is called mindful of the body, or more specifically, mindful of the breath to cultivate the qi. In this case, the qi means the static electricity that you generate at your lower abdomen because the small intestines, as you massage it with the diaphragm, will generate electricity because it's piezoelectric. The next part is called practicing the qi to unleash the mind. The mind in this case is actually the cavity between the left brain and the right brain. It's the only part of the mind that can create electrical potential. So what we want to do is we want to use that to drive the electrons up the spine. That's qi. So all we have to do is focus on the lower part of your spine. As you breathe in, you move up the spine as if a dragon is walking on it, and you stretch your spine until you get to the very top of your head. And when you breathe out, you come back in the front of your body from the forehead down to the bridge of your nose to your tongue. I forgot to mention that you need to leave the tip of the tongue behind your teeth so you're completing the electrical circuit. And let it come down. As you come down, you lean back, your upper torso, until you get to the belly button. Then when you breathe in again, you move from the lower part of your spine to the top of the head, you stretch your spine. And when you breathe out, you come back at the front of your body, come down, you lean back until you get to the belly button. So I call this practice the qi to unleash the mind. I'm going to do this for 3 minutes. As you go up, stretch. As you come down, lean back. You go up when you breathe in. You actually feel the energy in the back of your spine. It's a very, very refreshing energy. And then as you come down, you lean back and relax. Okay. Now, the third part is much harder to understand. Is I call it emancipating the mind to achieve enlightenment, which is much harder to understand. So, to make it more accessible, my Dharma master calls it the wandering dragon chasing the pearl. Now, what happened when you do the second part, you need to do this with a lot of practice. Is that you actually feel some energy rising on its own as you go up to the top of the head. And that's because you are creating a magnetic resonance with the energy in the universe. So when we say yin and yang, yin is the absence of the sun, but we don't say the moon, right? You would think that the absence of the sun is the moon because it's the closest planetary object to us. But we don't say that because the moon has no molten core. It has no magnetic field. The absence of the sun is the Jupiter, the Mercury, Venus, right? All the other stars, the five stars. The Jupiter takes 12 years to circle around the Earth. That's why we have the zodiac. But all five stars together takes 60 years for it to return. So that's why, even though I was born in the year of the monkey, I I'm called the golden monkey. It takes 60 years for me to return back to the constellation. And so the yin energy, the absence of the sun, is actually these other five stars, which represents the water, the vegetation, the fire, the soil, and the mineral. And so if you practice this for a while, you will feel this rush of energy going up your spine by itself. We call this the pearl. In your mind is a dragon. You're just chasing that pearl as you go up, as it comes down. But it's important to remember that we call it a wandering dragon. It's a free dragon. That's why we use the word emancipate. Our mind is being shackled by our body. To free our mind, we emancipate our mind. So just remember, this is the wandering dragon, which means that as you go up to the top of the head, you don't try to restrain the dragon. You don't try to stay at the head. You let it go. You let it go. Let the dragon go as far up as you can, away from your body if you can, into the cloud. And when you're into the cloud, you look back at this body and you say, "What is this? This is just a body." And then when you breathe out, you come back in. The dragon reappear. Come back to your stomach, and you imagine that the stomach is like the cave for the dragon. And again, you want to be sure that it's a wandering dragon, it's a free dragon. So you let the dragon stay in the cave as long as it wants. You don't rush. You just wait for yourself to naturally breathe in again, then you go back up. In other words, you don't force yourself into your breath. You let your breath be on its own. You go up and then you come down. Okay. Now we're way over time. Let's just do this for another 3 minutes. Just you need to practice this on your own. Okay, open your eyes. Okay, just quickly massage, wake up this body. All right, so there's a small chance I will know by the end of the day that I might have to cancel class next Saturday. And I know many of you are accustomed to having at least one long session like this every week. And as it also turns out, I have to also um, cancel the night class. So if I have to cancel this Saturday class, I will move it to Sunday. Okay. But if you don't hear from me or you don't get a notice from Insight Timer, that means that we are still on time, right? But I will know by the end of the day. All right, we're well over time, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I really want to do this in case I don't see you guys next week. Let us do our serenity prayer. This is important for not just our health, physical health, but for our mental health. And I want to dedicate this prayer to Buddy and all the other angels who show us how to love unconditionally, who dedicate their life to bring loving kindness to all beings. Let us focus on the light in front of us. Close your eye, but focus on the light. Know that the light represents all the positive energies in the world. There's enough negative energies in the world, but I choose to be with the positive today. I like to identify her as my creator, as God, as I know her. I ask for her protection. I ask for the courage to change things that I can change, to be like Buddy, to be like all the other angels, in spite of all the suffering in the world. Just do what we can, make this a better world than we found it. I also like to ask for the serenity so that I accept that there are things that I cannot change. I accept that I can never change other people, that I can only change myself. I ask for the wisdom to know the difference. I ask that we continue to practice to clear our mind of all the negative energy. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. No. I'm saying that we're going to stay on time. It will always be on Saturday. But if I get a call today that says that I have to be someplace else next Saturday, then I will cancel it just that 1 week. But I would try to create the class on Sunday. Okay? Just so that we can be together. All right? Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for all the donations. I will find a good home for those resources. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Take care. See you next week. Saturday mostly, if not Sunday. Okay. Bye bye. Okay. 星期一見。拜拜。Thank you。感恩大家。感恩陳老師。OK。拜拜。